You reach out to a prospect on LinkedIn, but they ain't responding back to you. You're trying to figure out when is the best time to email them. What should you say? Well, in this episode, I'm going to let you know what you should do and when. You're going to love it. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast. I'm your host, Donald C. Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. And I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. On this episode, I'm going to talk to you in the next 4 minutes, an idea, a tip, a strategy that's going to help you to be able to not only know when to reach out to your ideal customers after you connect with them on LinkedIn, but also to ensure that you actually get an appointment. Well, I can't promise you fully on that, but no one can. But we're going to give you some ideas that can help increase your odds. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, subscribe. I'll tell you every single episode how we're going to help you either build pipeline or help you to close deals. We want to make sure we give you high quality content, and that's what this episode is all about today. So let's dive in real quick. The way it works is that typically you'll reach out to a prospect on LinkedIn, you send them a connection request, and you hope they respond back to you. Some of us have been learning that we shouldn't pitch slap, P-I-T-C-H, where you automatically drop a message telling them about your services when somebody connects back to you. That's a big no-no. However, we do want to make sure we have connection with that prospect. The best way I've seen to do that, where you now take a connection and start emailing them appropriately, is to make sure you do this when you have figured out a relevant challenge that they have to which you have a solution. So the moment that you've identified a relevant challenge to which you have a solution. So hear me out on this. Let's say that you're working with HR managers and you know that at the end of the year, HR managers are looking for ways to be able to look at their offerings when it comes to their benefits for the new year. If that's the case and that's a trigger and you are connected to the HR manager, now that you've made that connection on LinkedIn, you have some personalized connection requests and the messaging or the conversation is jiving pretty well. What I would propose is then you send an email referring back to that said conversation on LinkedIn. I try not to pitch on LinkedIn. However, if an opportunity comes up, then I will go for it, right? Shoot your shot. But more than likely, 99% of the time, I'll pitch on email. And this is how it works. I bridge the gap when I've identified that relevancy. So that could take about a week, it could take a month. But once I've identified a relevancy, now typically in my situation, I have a focus list of 30 companies that I'm trying to go after. And I'm looking and trying to probe and see if there's anything that we can focus on. Obviously, we're going to try to find trigger events, but is there something that's happening in a company that I can utilize or in that person's role or a person's career that I can utilize as that bridge or that gap to bridge the gap when it comes to the email? So let's say, again, go back to this HR manager. She's new to her role, so that was her trigger. It's the end of the year, and she's evaluating more than likely what offerings they're going to go with for next year when it comes to benefits. My email, after I made a connection request to her, I told her congratulations on a new role and so forth. She engaged with me. Now I might leverage that into an email. I might say something to the nature of, you're excited for your new position, ... She's going to see my name and she's going to associate that with the conversation on LinkedIn, that point of reference. And then I will go ahead and bridge the gap between the challenge that I foresee that she has and the solution that we have for her. So I might say something to the nature of, Amber, thanks again for connecting on LinkedIn. I'm so excited for you and your new role. ABC company definitely made a wise choice. You don't have to be that cheesy, but you want to make some kind of, make it feel nice or whatnot. Then you want to go into the pitch at this point, the value, the relevancy. I noticed that many of our clients are looking at evaluating their benefits partners this time of the year in preparation for next year. I'm curious to find out if in your new capacity, if this is something that's on your radar that you'll be evaluating. Thoughts? And see what she says. There's a high chance she's going to reply back to you because of that relevancy factor from LinkedIn. And again, you might say, well, Donald, I do this on LinkedIn. No, go back to past episodes. Your people that you're probably connecting to on LinkedIn, more than likely, they're probably not active on the platform. And therefore, that's why you're not getting the engagement back from those individuals. You want to make sure you find those people that are, quote unquote, home, that you can send those connection requests to, those personalized connection requests. I've seen when I've done that to bridge that gap, it makes it so much more effective. So again, to recap, identify a relevancy factor. Once you've identified a relevancy factor, it's an easy chance to be able to send that email. Once you've had some kind of connection with that prospect, once you've had some kind of engagement with that prospect, it's easy to do that email. When I have those 2 factors in place, money in the bank, that's able to help me to do an email, and it catches, so to speak, and we're able to have good conversation. Let me know what you think about this. If you'd like to learn more about this stuff, I'm doing a masterclass, right? So my masterclass is all about actually a course that we teach is all about how you can utilize LinkedIn to generate 3 to 5 appointments per week without spamming. I would love to have you take part in that. You can find more information about that. Just go into the show notes, and would love to have you. Or you go to thesalesevangelist.com/LinkedIn course. Again, thesalesevangelist.com/LinkedIn course, and would love to have you take part in that. Or you can go to salesevangelist.com/LinkedIn and apply as well for one of our LinkedIn programs. We'd love to have you. Again, my thought here is that you need to 3 to 5x your sales pipeline with quality opportunities. Let us help you do that. We want to help you to increase your close rate. Let us help you do that. All in all, I want you to go out, raise your level of thinking, and do big things. See you on the next one.